Two puppies shuddered and hugged each other as the rain poured down outside, leaving them cold and drenched. I knew I had to do something to help them. With a sense of urgency, I gently picked up the tiny trembling fur balls and carried them to the balcony, hoping to shield them from the downpour. Fortunately, the rain eventually subsided, and I could see their pitiful condition more clearly. Their hair was patchy and falling out, and they were covered in scabs. I knew they needed immediate attention, but their mother was nowhere to be found. So I decided to wait, hoping she would return to her distressed pups. 2 long hours passed, and just when I was starting to lose hope, I got a glimpse of a dog in the distance. It was their mother, but she was on the run, as if life had taught her not to trust humans. I knew I couldn't do this alone, so I reached out to a friend for support. To my surprise, no one else in the neighborhood was willing to help. I don't touch them, they said, fearing that the stray dogs on the street. It seemed like I was their only hope. The mother dog was out trying to find food for her hungry puppies, and it was becoming clear that they couldn't wait much longer. The next morning, I decided it was time to take action. I gently picked up the puppies, who were understandably afraid and worried. They had never been inside a house before, and the closed spaces frightened them. As I examined them closely, I couldn't help but notice their unusually large bellies. I asked my friend who had come to assist me. She had taken wandering around all night in search of food for her little ones. The puppy's belly were also swollen, a clear sign of malnutrition. We decided to keep them in the same room to comfort them, hoping it would ease their fear and stop their constant cries. Still, they didn't completely trust us. They cowered in the corner, keeping a safe distance from humans. It was evident that they had never experienced love or kindness. The next day, we knew we had to separate them for treatment, despite the fact that it would make them even more nervous. Their eyes were filled with suspicion, and I had to be extremely careful as they might bite me in fear. They seemed to enjoy being petted by me, which filled my heart with hope. Their mother, Vanium, remained vigilant, never fully letting her guard down. It was a challenging journey as the puppy's belly gradually shrank over the course of 5 days. Finally, it was time to reunite them with their mother. She was both happy and afraid, torn between her instincts and her maternal love. She quietly lay in a corner, nursing her fragile relationship with her daughter. We named her Jadu, who remained equally distrustful. It was more difficult than I had initially thought. They had likely witnessed many hard experiences, and love was a foreign concept to them. It would take time and patience to them to heal and learn to trust again. As the days turned into weeks, the puppies began to show remarkable improvement. The scabs was nearly completely cured, and they were ready for a new journey in their lives. One by one, they were adopted by kind-hearted individuals willing to give them a loving home. For the first time, they had a place to call their own. Their lives had completely changed. They had become beautiful not only in appearance, but in their newfound trust and affection. They experienced the comfort of a warm bed, the joy of the good food, and most importantly, the love of the people who had adopted them. The heartwarming journey taught me the power of compassion and the resilience of animals in the face of adversity. Their transformation from a frightened, malnourished strays to beloved members of new families was a testament to the difference love and care can make in the lives of those who needed it the most. Thank you for joining me on the incredible journey of hope and healing. and I look forward to sharing more stories of kindness in the future. 1 month had passed, and the puppies continued to thrive in their new homes. They were no longer the frightened, malnourished creatures I had found on the rainy day. Instead, they had become vibrant, playful, and loving pets. Jadu, the once fearful little girl, had made remarkable progress. She was still a bit reserved, but she had grown to trust her new family. The biting instinct had given way to affection, and she encouraged cuddles and belly rubs. Hazel, the cheerful boy, was a bundle of joy. He eagerly greeted his new owners with a wagging tail and had become a beloved member of their household. The mother Vanyam had undergone a transformation of her own. She was no longer the very street-smart dog I had first encountered. She had learned to trust humans and began to smile and wag her tail when approached with kindness. Vanyam had found a new lease on life, and it was heartwarming to witness her newfound happiness. Life had completely changed for this one neglected family. They had left the harsh streets behind and now had warm beds, nutritious food, and most importantly, the love and care of their new families. Everything was still new to them, and each day brought fresh discoveries. The streets that had once been placed of struggle and survival now seemed beautiful to them. The simple joys of daily life, like a cozy spot by the window to bask in the sun, or the comforting sounds of their family voices, were treasured moments for these dogs. They had finally experienced the warmth and security of a loving family. As we concluded this chapter of their lives, the future was bright for Jadu, Hazel, and Vanyam. They had not only found a home, but also a family that loved them unconditionally. The support and care they received had changed their lives forever, and their story served as an inspiring example of the positive change that can come from a simple act of compassion. So we bid farewell to these remarkable dogs, knowing that their journey was far from over. Their adventures in the new homes were only beginning, and they would continue to bring joy and love to those lucky enough to have them as a part of their families. This heartwarming tale was a reminder that even in the most challenging circumstances, love and kindness does sustain.